Hey, this is A's Gallo, and this video is going to be a tutorial on a new piece of software that I actually created myself. This is the SiQ SpinReg. It's a cool name, right? So this software is an automatic registering tool for PokerStars spinning goes, and it's all about productivity. It's all about getting you to play more games in a session in a day, taking away that energy that you use on keeping track of how many games you've played, how many minutes you've been playing, and just having to manually register games yourself. A lot of times people will quit their sessions early, and this will make it a lot easier to keep sessions going. And there's times where you are in the middle of a session and without realizing it, you don't register a new game for 5-10 minutes, and this will keep the number of games that you want open consistent, which is very good if you're a winning player. It's just going to equal more money. So enough of the sales pitch. Let's see how to work this thing. A lot of really obvious stuff in the main window. Spins to keep open is how many tables to keep open at once. Your session length in minutes, or your total games in a session, and this is just whichever comes first. So if you want to play by number of games in a session, you could just set the number of minutes up real high, and vice versa. AFK protection, so if your keyboard or mouse are broken, or you somehow start this program and walk away from your computer, this is the number of minutes that'll go by before you type anything or move your mouse, where the program will just stop registering. It'll let you know that you've been AFK and stop functioning. You have your buy-in drop down, so you can pick between all the buy-ins that are available on Stars. And beyond that, we have these additional settings for hotkeys to start, stop, pause, resume your session. You have a kill switch key to exit the program just in case something goes terribly wrong, which I don't expect to happen, but it's nice to have that there just in case. You have a register a new game hotkey, so you can add an additional game. Let's say you're used to two-tabling, but for whatever reason the games are going real slow, so you can manually add another one. This hotkey, unlike the PokerStars hotkey, this will work even if you don't have any games currently open. So that's a cool thing to have. Below that, we have additional settings of safety buffer in seconds. You can really set this to 0 or 1, it's fine. It's the time between trying to register for a new game after the last one opened. For a security measure, it will let you have a couple of seconds to shut down the program if something were to go wrong. Again, I don't expect that to happen, but it's nice to have the option there. This can also be used to check to see what multiplier you got before you register a new game. So you could set this to 10 seconds or whatever would be enough. It'll register a game, wait 10 seconds. In that time, you can see what multiplier you hit, and if it's a high one, you can pause your session so you can focus on that game. Then we have the games goal. So you can see in the main window here, this program is going to tell you how many games and how many minutes you have been playing your session. The game's goal operates outside of the session, so you could set this to say you want to play like 200 games today. And even if you stop your session, close the program, and come back, it's going to keep track of how many games you've played and what your goal is. And you could just set this to whatever you want. Say you want to play like 2,000 games in a month. You could just set that there and update it whenever you want. When you want to start a new goal, you just click reset, and you get this question, are you sure you want to change it? Below that, progress in, and you have 3 modes for time, games. These two are going to be inside of the session that you're currently playing, and then you have goal, which again is operating outside of the session. So you can toggle between, and that's going to show up here in this blue progress bar. Finally, you have this option to enable click games to register a new game. If you click this, you'll get a little warning asking if you're sure you want to do that. And what that does is you can, if you have that enabled, you can click on this text here in the main window, Games, and it will manually register a new game. Just there in case anybody wants something like that, rather than opening up the Stars lobby. So we have all those things set. When you close the settings window, it's going to update whatever settings you put in there. So let's take a look, starting a session here, and see what it looks like. All right, now if you're really observant, you're going to see that these are not actual games. These are just pictures of PokerStars tables. That's because I live in the land of the free, and I am not allowed to play poker on PokerStars. Sad. So yeah, 2 games opened up just like we wanted. If you want to update this in the middle of a session, you can do that. As soon as you hit 3, it's just going to go to register a new game. And if you get your head beat in playing 3 tables and decide you want to go back down, you can do that automatically. It's going to update, and it's not going to register a new game until you get down to 1, and then it'll register it again. So this is just going to keep them going. You can pause your session. The timer's still going to go when you pause your session. I assume that's what most people want. You want to sit down and play for a half hour. Sometimes you're going to pause the session to stop it from registering games, but you still want that timer to go. I'll throw in an option to pause the timer as well if people want that. You can resume your session here, stop your session, reload. One thing to note, if you in the PokerStars lobby, if you have it set to open, the max is 5 games at a time you can have it set to. This program is going to make sure that that number gets dropped down to 1. So you're not going to have to worry about, like trying to keep 2 games open, but you had that option set to 5, and then it opens 10 games instead. This program is smart enough to drop it down to 1 first, and then start registering there. So nothing to worry about there. The other thing is if you stop this program like we just did, everything got reset. Let's say you had manually registered games, or you stopped the program and reopened it because you decided you wanted to keep your session going. If you click Start Now, it's not going to try to register new games because it's still aware that these are open. It's not counting the ones that it hasn't opened the session towards the games that you've played, but it's not going to open more tables than you want opened here. So if you have these manually opened, it's going to wait until they go away to reopen. Yeah, what else do we have going on here? There's a mini view, which I really like. You click that button and you can just set this aside. You have a nice little timer, let you know how many games you've played, and you can see your progress. Little trick to change the views of the progress bar, you can click on this status text running, and it'll go from goal to time to games. So right now we've played 2 out of the 20 games that we wanted to play, so that's 10%, and we see that here. Pretty cool stuff. Yeah, so I think that'll do it. Good little example of how this thing works, and hopefully you like it. If you have any questions, just feel free to message me or leave them in the comments below on YouTube. All right, thanks guys.